Alright everybody, welcome to another episode of The Urban Gardener. Today we're going to make a seed starting or potting mix. Now, I use a few different ingredients for my seeds starting and potting mix that I make myself here at home. This big brick right here is known as Coco Coir. And Coco Coir is basically a byproduct of coconut production. And they press it really tightly in a process into basically 5 kilograms, which is just over 11 pounds. For this size brick, you can buy them in many different sizes and different places. But I utilize Coco Coir. It's a more sustainable product. A lot of people out there and a lot of sales in garden centers of sphagnum peat moss. Peat moss, they say, is a sustainable product itself, but that's pretty much if we were like redwood trees or something. You know what I mean? If we had that kind of lifespan, if we lived that long, it would be considered maybe sustainable. Peat bogs take hundreds of years to form. So when they're mined and whatnot, it's pretty much causing a certain level of environmental damage because of the ability for those bogs to be able to regenerate themselves. And seriously, don't really worry too much that you've probably utilized peat moss, or, you know, I mean, if you didn't know that sort of information or whatnot. I didn't know. Certainly when I first started gardening, as I stated before, I'm just getting to learn a lot of stuff myself. I now use the Coco Coir to make my seed starting and potting mix. Okay. Added to this, when we basically, or as you can tell in the background, there's the 5 gallon bucket of water. We're gonna stick this in the container, and we're gonna add the water to it. It's gonna greatly expand. Now, one of the things you can add to the Coco Coir in the seed starting mix to help with drainage, as the Coco Coir itself is to absorb and hold on to water for water retention. You'll want to add to it a source for drainage. One of those possibilities is perlite, and perlite is a mined volcanic rock, very resourceable, easily found in most garden centers and places. It's utilized for many other things than just gardening, but perlite's one possibility. And then there's also vermiculite. Vermiculite's not a volcanic rock, it's actually a clay, and it's superheated in furnaces until it pops, or basically exfoliates. But vermiculite is another great source for drainage in your soil. So these together, when they're finally mixed, are just fine for seed production, or for seed starting, sorry. Seeds basically have the energy that they need inside of them, so when they get started and the roots come out and they pop up, the energy is already in there and stored in there that plant needs to get its initial start. So, you know, you could just basically use just this. There's no nutrients in any of this for any sort of plant. People utilize the perlite in hydroponic applications just by itself and added nutrients. You could start your seeds just by themselves with just vermiculite, just some vermiculite and water. And the seeds will start themselves. Like I said, they have enough energy to get going. However, in starting my peppers and tomato seeds that I start indoors, I add basically worm castings. Now, worm castings, this nice dark rich stuff here, worm castings or vermicompost is basically just worm manure. Yeah, just worm manure. Very, very nutrient rich fertilizer. So one of the things I'd like to do in an upcoming episode in the next several weeks or so is to build a worm compost bin of my own here and get some worms and get to making some of this vermicompost right here in the Urban Gardener. So look forward to something like that. We're going to do that. That'll be coming up here real soon. So basically, we're going to get that water over there in this Coco Coir brick going, and when that's all set up and we get that mixed up, we'll get back with you, and then we'll go ahead and start adding these to the Coco Coir. All right? So we'll get with you in just a minute. Right, we're back. The brick has soaked in the water. It took a little bit more water breaking down to get it soaked up just right. But check it out. That brick turned into all of that. That's a pretty good sized bin. So we'll add this together with our vermiculite and our worm castings. A lot of recipes you see on this is a 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, so each getting equal parts. This, like with a lot of things, as you know, as I explain or we'll continue to talk about as we go on, is not a hard and fast rule. Most things in gardening just aren't, but we're just going to go ahead and so we'll add about a third of that container. I'll put about a third of the worm castings into there. And then we'll add that into the mix. And we're just going to mix this up. And this is going to make a really great seed starting and plant potting mix. Utilized for any plant. This will hold water really well and won't hold more than you need. Just a little more of the Coco Coir. I think I got and the worm castings. There we go. there we are. Got a nice soil mix. A lot of these things, as I said, the worm castings, the Coco Coir, the vermiculite, most of these can be sourced at your garden centers or online. Find them. So there we go. All right, everybody. We got our seed starting mix all finished up. So I wanted to sit down and talk to you about something for just a moment. I know there isn't too many viewers quite yet because this channel's just getting started. But what I wanted to talk to you about is a challenge I have for everyone out there. Now, maybe you're seeing this some other time later and you can always get started when you do. But my challenge this year in the 2017 growing season is to challenge you to grow something you haven't grown before or haven't eaten. So my choice this year is going to be Brussels sprouts. Now there's probably a lot of things out there that we haven't grown, but this one is mine. I've never really eaten it before, never tried. It was one of those ones as a kid or even as an adult, I just look at it and I'm like, I don't know, because I wasn't a very good vegetable eater when I was young. I've learned more and more to accept and enjoy vegetables in my diet, but Brussels sprouts is just one of those ones I haven't got myself to go, so I figure if I grow it, then basically I can eat it. So that's going to be my challenge this year, is to grow Brussels sprouts. And even if I don't succeed, I'm going to get some Brussels sprouts and I'm going to eat them anyways. But that's my challenge for this year, is to grow a plant that you haven't eaten or grown before. And I just want to take this time again to let you know that I would love to interact with every single one of you who come in and check out this video. Please comment down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me what kind of plant you think you should grow this year, something you haven't tried before. Hit the subscribe button, please. You know, I love to have you follow along with me as we continue this garden season going. We're just getting going with this channel and really got some really good, exciting things I'd like to share with you guys as we get going along. So thanks once again for coming along with me and joining me here on The Urban Gardener. How you doing, bud?